second part of polynomials from grade 9 mathematics. Today we shall start our study with the new concept, the concept of zero of a polynomial and the method to calculate the zero of a polynomial. Again we shall study the operations with polynomial, that is addition of polynomials, subtraction of polynomials, multiplication and division of polynomials. Before starting our today's topic, let me help you to recall the points which you studied in the previous session. In the previous session, we studied the concept polynomial. First of all, we studied the condition for an algebraic expression to become a polynomial. What is that? If the powers of all the variables of an algebraic expression are only whole numbers, then we can call it as a polynomial. Then the second point, definition of a polynomial. Px equal a0 plus a1x plus a2x square plus a3x cube plus etc. An x raised to n is a polynomial in x over real numbers if a0, a1, a2, a3 etc. are real numbers. Again, if an not equal to 0, we can say that it is a polynomial of degree n. The next point is classification of a polynomial. We can classify the polynomial in three ways. First one, based on the numerical coefficients. Second one, based on the number of terms present in the polynomial. And the third one, based on the degree of the polynomial. Based on the coefficient or based on the numerical coefficient present in the polynomial, we can classify them as a polynomial over rational numbers. The condition if all the coefficients are rational numbers. If all the numerical coefficients present in the polynomial are rational numbers, we can call it as a polynomial over rational number. If all the coefficients present in a polynomial are real numbers, we can call it as a polynomial over real numbers. If all the coefficients are natural numbers, we can call it as a polynomial over natural numbers. The second point, based on the number of terms. Based on the number of terms, we can classify the polynomials as monomials, that is polynomials having one term, binomials, that is polynomials having two terms, trinomials, polynomials having three terms, quadrinomials, that is polynomials having four terms, and generally polynomials. Poly means many. Then based on the degree, we can classify them as degree 1 polynomials, they are called linear polynomials. Degree 2 polynomials are called quadratic polynomials. Degree 3 polynomials, they are called cubic polynomials. Then degree 4 polynomials, we call them as biquadratic polynomials. Generally, we can say that a polynomial of degree n. Okay, I hope you could recollect the points. Dear children, I hope all of you could complete the assignment. Let me explain the concept of zero polynomial. A real number a is called the zero of a polynomial px if p of a equal 0. In the previous session, we studied the value of a polynomial px at x equal a is p of a. The value of a polynomial px at x equal a is p of a. If p of a equals 0, we can say that a is the 0 of that polynomial. That is, the values of the variables for which the value of a polynomial becomes 0 are called the zeros of the polynomial. Is it clear? The values of the variables for which the value of a polynomial becomes 0 are called its zeros. To get the 0 of a polynomial, what is the procedure? You know that the value of the polynomial must become 0. If px is a polynomial, px equal 0. We have to find the values of the variables x for which px equal 0. That is what we call solve the equation px equal 0. To get the value, to get the 0 of a polynomial, we have to solve the equation px equal 0. Now see, what about the zero's nature? If the zero of a polynomial is an integer, it is called integral 0 of that polynomial. Again, if you consider a polynomial with integral coefficients and the leading coefficient is 1, then these integral zeros are factors of the constant term present in that polynomial. Is it clear? Consider a polynomial with integral coefficients. Then in the integer 0 or integral 0 of that polynomial must be a factor of the constant term present in that polynomial. In this case, the leading coefficient of the polynomial must be 1. The leading coefficient of a polynomial with the integral coefficients is 1, then the 0 of, that is integral 0 of that polynomial is a factor of the constant term present in that polynomial. Again, you know that zero polynomial means all the coefficient must be 0. Really, its value is always 0. That means every real number is a 0 of the 0 polynomial. Now, just consider the case of a constant polynomial. Say 5. 5 equal 5x raised to 0. 100 equal 100x raised to 0. It's very clear that there is no real number or there is no real 0. There is no 0 for this constant polynomial. That is, 0 degree polynomial has no zeros. 0 of a polynomial. A real number A is a 0 or root of a polynomial. Is we can call 0 or root. 0 or root of a polynomial if P of A equal 0. The second part, a non-zero constant polynomial has no 0. The third point, every real number is a 0 of the 0 polynomial. If fx is a polynomial with integral coefficients and the leading coefficient is 1, then any integral root of fx is a factor of the constant term. Again, an nth degree polynomial can have at most n zeros. That is, the number of zeros of an nth degree polynomial cannot exceed the degree of that polynomial. The number of zeros of a polynomial cannot exceed the degree of that polynomial. Now let us go through some examples. The question, find the 0 of the polynomial px equal 3x plus 5. I told you, to find the 0 of a polynomial, we have to solve the equation px equal 0. Here px equal 3x plus 5. Px equal 3x plus 5. Therefore, 3x plus 5 equal 0. We have to shift this positive 5 to right side. That is 3x equal 0 minus 5. That is 3x equal negative 5. Therefore, x equal negative 5 by 3. Here, the 0 of this polynomial px is negative 5 by 3. Its meaning, if you substitute the value negative 5 by 3 in this polynomial 3x plus 5, we will get the value of that polynomial is 0. Now the second question, find the 0 of the polynomial px equal ax plus b. Px equal ax plus b. We have to take this px equal 0. That is ax plus b equal 0. Then we can write ax. Ax equal 0 minus b. Ax equal negative b. Therefore, x equal negative b by a. That is, negative b by a is the 0 of the polynomial px equal ax plus b. If 2 is a root of the polynomial fx equal 2x square minus 3x plus 7a, find the value of a. It's the application of the concept 0 of the polynomial. It is given that 2 is the root. Root means 0 itself. 2 is the 0 of the polynomial fx equal 2x square minus 3x plus 7a. We are asked to calculate the value of a. That is 2x square minus 3x plus 7a is the polynomial. We have to take here 2 is a root means f2. f2 equal 0. f2 equal 0. Since 2 is 0. You know that f2. To get f2, we have to substitute the value 2 in place of x. That is 2 into 2 square minus 3 into 2 plus 7a. We can write it as 2 times 4 minus 6 plus 7a. 8 minus 6 plus 7a. 8 minus 6 is 2. Therefore 2 plus 7a. Since it is 0, we can see that f2 equal 0. That is 7a plus 2 equal 0. Therefore a equal or 7a equal 0 minus 2, that is equal negative 2, and a equal negative 2 by 7. Therefore the answer become a equal negative 2 by 7. A equal negative 2 by 7. A equal negative 2 by 7. Okay, let me explain the problem once again. Here 2 is the root of the polynomial. If 2 is the root of the polynomial, you know that f2 must be 0. First of all, we have to calculate f2. To calculate f2, we have to substitute the value 2 in place of x. Therefore, f2 become, if the given polynomial is 2x square minus 3x plus 7a, therefore f2 equal 2 into 2 square minus 3 into 2 plus 7a. 2 square become 4, therefore 2 into 4 minus 6 plus 7a. 2 times 4 is 8. 8 minus 6 plus 7a. That is 2 plus 7a. Here we have to equate that 7a plus 2 equal 2 plus 7a, that is equal 0. Therefore 7a equals 0 minus 2. 7a equal negative 2. Therefore a becomes negative 2 by 7. I hope it's clear to you. Now the next section, that is basic operations with polynomial. Addition and subtraction of polynomials. You know that there are two types of terms, like terms and unlike terms. If the literal factors of terms are same, they are called like terms or similar terms. Like terms or similar terms have same literal factors. The literal factors are different, we can call them as unlike terms or dissimilar terms. For the addition and subtraction of similar terms or like terms, we have to add or subtract the numerical coefficients of those terms. That means we can add or subtract only like terms. For the addition and subtraction, we have to add or subtract the coefficients, the numerical coefficients of those like terms only. See the like terms. What do you mean by like terms? Like terms have the same literal factors. 2xy is an algebraic term. 2xy. We can say 3xy is a like term. 4xy, 5xy, all these are like terms of 2xy. They have the same literal power. For the addition and subtraction of polynomials, we have to collect the like terms and add or subtract the numerical coefficients of those like terms only. You know that if I have 2 pencils in one hand and 3 pencils in other hand, altogether I can say that I have 5 pencils. I can't tell 5 pencils square like that. That is wrong. 2 pencils in one together, 2 pencils and 3 pencils together, we can say 5 pencils. But if I have 2 pencils and 3 pens together, I can't tell I have 5 pencils or 5 pens like that. I have to say that I have 2 pencils and 3 pens. They are not the same type of objects. The same way, like terms and unlike terms, there are two types. We can add or subtract only like terms. Addition and subtraction of polynomials. Terms having the same literal factors are called the like terms or similar terms. Terms not having the same literal factors are called unlike terms or dissimilar terms. Consider the question. Add 7x square minus 4x plus 5, negative 3x square plus 2x minus 3 and 5x cube minus x plus 9. Let us try to solve this. Here, for the addition of these polynomials, we have to collect the like terms. The first one, 7x square minus 4x plus 5. The second polynomial, negative 3x square plus 2x minus 3. The third one, 5x cube minus x plus 9. Here, there is only one term having degree 3, that is 5x cube. First of all, we have to write that 5x cube. Now, degree 2 terms. I have 7x square here, again negative 3x square. These are the two terms with degree 2. They are the like terms. Plus 7x square minus 3x square. Now, the terms having x, here negative 4x. From the second polynomial plus 2x, from the third one negative x. Then the constant terms. The constant terms 5, negative 3 and positive 9. Therefore, plus 5 minus 3 plus 9. Here, there is only one term having x cube, that is 5x cube. Now 7x square minus 3x square, I told you, just subtract the numerical coefficients. 7 minus 3 equal 4. Therefore, plus 4x square. The third one, the next one, negative 4x plus 2x minus 6. What do you mean by minus 6? That is equal negative 1x. Therefore, here the coefficients are negative 4, positive 2 and negative 1. We can write it as negative 1. Negative 1x. Therefore, negative 4 and negative 1 together, negative 5x. Negative 5x plus 2x, that means 2 minus 5 equal negative 3x. Now the numbers, constants. 5 minus 3 plus 9. First of all, we can add 5 plus 9. 5 plus 9, 14. 14 minus 3, that is positive 11. Here the answer is 5x cube plus 4x square minus 3x plus 11. The next section, multiplication of polynomials. Know that polynomials can be divided into monomials, binomials, trinomials, like that. Now, first of all, multiplication of a monomial by a monomial. To multiply a monomial by a monomial, what is the procedure? To get the product of two monomials or to get the product of monomials, first of all, to get the numerical coefficient of the product, we have to multiply the numerical coefficients of the monomials. Again, to get the variable part of the product, we have to multiply the variable parts of the given monomials. For multiplication of the variable parts, we have to follow the laws of indices. The laws of indices or laws of exponents. X raised to m into x raised to n equal x raised to m plus n. We have to follow that rule for the multiplication of the variables. Is it clear? To multiply, to find the product of monomials, we have to find the product of the numerical coefficients of the given monomials. Again, to find the variable part of the product, we have to find the product of the variable parts of the given monomials. Now, to multiply a monomial by a binomial or a trinomial, we can apply the distributive property. distributive property of multiplication over addition. Simplify 3x cube y square into negative 4x raised to 4y cube into 5x raised to 5. To get the numerical coefficient of the product, we have to multiply the numerical coefficients of the monomials. That is 3 times negative 4 times 5. Now, to get the product of the variables, we have to apply the laws of exponents. The law x raised to m into x raised to n equal x raised to m less n. Now collect, now take the variables x alone. Now x raised to 3, here x raised to 4 into x raised to 4 into, from the last one, x raised to 5. Now the y terms, y square into y cube. 3 times negative 4 times 5. That is negative 60 into x raised to 3 plus 4 plus 5. Then into y raised to 2 plus 3. That is equal negative 60 x raised to 3 plus 4, 7, 7 plus 5, 12. Y raised to 5. Question. Find the product of 2x cube into 3x square plus 5xy. 2x cube into 3x square plus 5xy. Here, first of all, 2x cube into 3x square. Then again 2x cube into positive 5xy. This is equal 2x cube into 3x square plus 2x cube into 5xy. Now we have to find the product of the coefficients. 2 times 3, that is 6. X cube into x square. For that, x raised to, we have to add the powers. 3 plus 2 become 5. Plus 2 times 5 equal 10. Now consider the powers of exponents of x alone. Here x cube, in this case x raised to 1. Therefore x raised to this 3 plus 1. 3 plus 1. Then y alone. It is equal 6x raised to 5 plus 10x raised to 4y. Next question. Simplify 15a square minus 6a into a minus 2 plus a into 5 plus 7a. Here, this is the question to simplify this algebraic expression or simplify this. For that, you know that all addition, subtraction, multiplication, all the 3 operations are involved in this single question. Okay, let's try to solve this. 15a square. 15a square. Now, negative 6a into a minus 2. Therefore, negative 6a into a, it will become negative 6a square. Then negative 6a into negative 2. Negative into negative become positive. Negative 6 into negative 2 become positive 12. Therefore, positive 12a plus a into 5. A into 5, it's not a5, it should be 5a. But to write 5a. Then a into 7a. A into 7a. 7a into a equal plus 7a square. Now we have to collect the like terms. For the first term, 15a square, then negative 6a square is there. Then the next like term is 7a square. We are going to collect them. That is 15a square minus 6a square plus 7a square. Now the terms having a alone, that is 12a plus 5a. Now to add the first three terms, we have to add 15a squared minus 6a squared plus 7a squared. We have to add the coefficients. 15 plus 7, 22. 22 minus 6 is 16. Therefore 16a squared. 15 plus 7, we have to add the positive terms first of all. 15 plus 7, 22. Then 22 minus 6 equal 16. 16a squared. Here both terms are positive, therefore plus 12a plus 5a. 12 plus 5, 17. Therefore it is 17e. Multiply 5x cubed plus 3x squared by 2x squared minus 3. Here we can split the first binomial as two monomials. 5x cubed plus 3x squared into 2x squared minus 3. We can split the first binomial into two monomials. Therefore, first of all, this 5x cubed into 5x cubed into the second binomial, that is 2x squared minus 3. Now the next monomial or next term of the first binomial is plus 3x squared. Therefore, plus 3x squared into 2x squared minus 3. Now again term by term multiplication. 5x cubed into 2x squared. Now here 5x cubed into negative 3. We can give negative 5x cubed into 3. Now plus positive 3x squared. 3x squared into 2x squared plus 3x squared into 2x squared. Again 3 into negative 3 become negative 9. You know that the term become negative. Negative 3x squared into 3. 5 times 2, 10. X cubed into x squared become x raised to, we have to add the powers or add the exponents. 3 plus 2 become 5. Minus 5 times 3 become 15. 15x cubed. Again 3 into 2 plus 6 x raised to 2 plus 2 4. Therefore plus 6 x raised to 4 minus 3 times 3 9x squared. We can rewrite this in the descending order of degrees. That is 10x raised to 5 plus 6x raised to 4 minus 15x cubed minus 9x squared. Now the next point, division of a polynomial by a polynomial. To divide a polynomial using another polynomial, we have to express both dividend and divisor in the standard form. The first step, we have to express dividend and divisor both in the standard form. In standard form, what do you mean by standard form? We have to arrange the terms of the polynomial in the ascending or descending order of degrees. We have to arrange the terms of the polynomial in the ascending or descending order of degrees. Normally for the division, we will arrange the term in the descending order of degrees. Again, we have to use the laws of exponents. X raised to m divided by x raised to n equal x raised to m minus n for the variable part. For the numerical coefficient of the quotient, we have to divide the numerical coefficient of the dividend using the numerical coefficient of the divisor. Is it clear? Find the quotient when fx equal x cube plus 3x square plus 3x plus 5 is divided by gx equal x plus 2. Also find the remainder. I told you the condition if the divisor is a monomial, but in this case, see, divisor is a binomial. Here we will use long division method. For this division, first of all, we have to arrange the dividend and divisor both in the standard form. The dividend fx equal x cube plus 3x square plus 3x plus 5. It is in the standard form. See, the degree of the first term is 3, the second term is degree 2, then degree 1, and the last term is positive 5 is 5x raised to 0, its degree is 0. Again, for the divisor dx, x plus 2, again it is in the standard form. Therefore, let's try that long division. Let's try the long division method. X cube plus 3x square plus 3x plus 5. This is a dividend. Divisor is x plus 2. See, to start the long division method, first of all, divide the first term of the dividend using the first term of the divisor. The first step, we have to arrange both dividend and divisor in the standard form. Okay, suppose here all the terms, all the first one x cube term, x cube, the second is x square, the variable part is x square, the third one x, the last one is constant. Nothing is missing. Sometimes you may get a question without x square term, then what should we do? We have to enter 0x square. If there is no x square term in the given polynomial, we have to enter 0x square. That means we have to fill that missing part using the coefficient 0. Now in this case, there is no problem, we can do the work. X cube plus 3x square plus 3x plus 5 divided by x plus 2. X cube by x equal x square. X cube divided by x equal x square. Therefore, we have to write the first term of the quotient as x square. Now x square into x plus 2. X square into x is x cube. X square into positive 2 is positive 2x square. Our usual division, the next process is subtraction. Therefore, x cube minus x cube, that becomes 0x cube, that is 0. Now 3x square minus 2x square. 3 minus 2 is 1. Therefore, positive 1x square. Now we have to just bring down the next two terms, that is 3x plus 5. Now at the start, the dividend becomes 1x square plus 3x plus 5. Again the same procedure. We have to divide the first term of this part with the first term of the first term of the divisor. Here the first term is 1x square. 1x square by x, that is x square by x, that is equal x, therefore plus x. X into x is x square, that is 1x square. X into 2 is 2x. 1x square minus 1x square, again 0. 3x minus 2x. 3x minus 2x is x. Bring down the next term 5. Now see, at this term we have to take x plus 5 as the dividend. Now the divisor is still x plus 2. Therefore, x divided by x. X divided by x is 1. Therefore, the next term of the quotient becomes 1. 1 into x equal 1x. 1 into 2 equal plus 2. Again, the same procedure, subtract. 1x minus 1x equal 0. 0x plus 5 minus 2 equal 3. So we can write quotient. Quotient equal x square plus x plus 1, and the remainder become plus 3. quotient equal x square plus x plus 1 and the remainder 0x plus 3. 0x is 0. Therefore, the remainder become 3. We can we can solve the question. We can find the quotient or we can do the division in another method also by taking the coefficients alone. Here, first of all, we have to check whether both dividend and divisor are in the standard form. If any term is missing, we have to enter that term with the coefficient 0. Now, see, here the coefficients, I'm going to collect the coefficients of the dividend and divisor. Taking the coefficient of the dividend, it is plus 1, then plus 3, the next one again plus 3 plus 5 divided by the divisor is x plus 2. Again I am going to take the coefficients alone. 1 plus 2. Now we are not writing the variable part. You may feel that it is so boring to write all the variables or all the steps like that. It is not easy work. Therefore we can reduce the work like that, but be careful while writing the coefficients. You have to enter the sign of the coefficients. Now the first term is 1. Here first term of the dividend is 1, first term of the divisor also 1. Now 1 divided by 1 is 1. 1 into 1, 1. 1 into positive 2 is positive 2. Now when you subtract 1 minus 1 becomes 0. 3 minus 2 equal plus 1. Again I can write the next two terms 1 plus 3 plus 5. See, here the first term is 1. The first term of the divisor also 1. 1 divided by 1 again plus 1. 1 into 1 equal 1. 1 into 2 equal 2. Again 1 minus 1 0. 3 minus 2 equal 1. Therefore 1 plus 5. Again 1 into 1 only 1. Therefore the next term of the quotient again 1. 1 into 1 equal 1. 1 into 2 equal 2. When you subtract 1 minus 1 0, 5 minus 2 3. Now the problem with the variable part. We got the coefficient of the quotient is 1 plus 1 plus 1. But the variable part we have to think and write. Here degree of the dividend is 3 and degree of the divisor is 1. To get the degree of the quotient, we have to subtract degree of the divisor from the degree of the dividend. Let us subtract degree of the divisor from the degree of the dividend. Here degree of the dividend is 3. Degree of the divisor is 1. 3 minus 1 is 2. Therefore, the degree of the quotient is 2. Can write the answer. Since degree of the quotient is 2, the first term must be with the numerical coefficient 1 and variable factor x square having degree 2, that means x square. Therefore 1x square. Then the answer also in standard form, you know the next one 1x square. Then the next term must be term having x. Here the coefficient is also positive 1, therefore we can write 1x. See, x square term, then x term, then the last term must be the constant one, that is plus 1. This is the second method, taking only the coefficients. I feel it is easy to complete the work in a quick way. By long division, find the remainder when the polynomial 4x raised to 4 minus 6x cubed plus 6 squared minus 1 is divided by 2x squared minus 3. Here, see the dividend 4x raised to 4 minus 6x cubed plus 6x squared minus 1. The x term is missing. Therefore, when you write it as a dividend, we have to enter the term 0x. Then only dividend is in the standard form. Here 2x squared minus 3. 2x square minus 3 is also not in the standard form. We have to enter the x term. Therefore, 2x square plus 0x minus 3 will be the standard form of 2x square minus 3. Try to solve this question using both methods. But I'm going to solve it in by taking the coefficients alone. The dividend and divisor both are in the standard form. In the question, the x term was missing. Therefore, I just entered that 0x. There also the x term was missing. For the divisor also the x term was missing. I entered there also 0x. And now we are safe to complete the work. We can just write the coefficients. Here the first coefficient is positive 4. I can write 4, no problem. 4. Then negative 6 plus 6 plus 0 negative 1 minus 1 divided by here 2 plus 0 minus 3. See, the first term of the dividend is positive 4 and the first term of the divisor is only 2. 4 divided by 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2. Therefore, 2 times 2, 4. 2 times 0, 0. 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. As usual, division we are going to settle. 4 minus 4 becomes 0. Negative 6 minus 0, that is negative 6. Now the next point, 6 minus negative 6. Double negative become positive. Therefore, 6 plus 6. 6 plus 6 is 12. Now we have to bring down this 0 minus 1. Now the first term is negative 6. Not 0, we have to consider it as negative 6. First term become negative 6. Negative 6 by 2 equal negative 3. Therefore, the second term of the quotient become negative 3. Negative 3 times 2 equal negative 6. Negative 3 into 0 is 0. 0. We can give positive 0, negative 0, no problem. Now, negative 3 into negative 3 become positive 9. See, negative 6 minus negative 6 becomes 0. 12 minus 0 is 12. 0 minus 9 is negative 9. Our next term is negative 1. Bring down that negative. Now the question, the first term become 12. Again the first term of the divisor is 2. 12 by 2 equal positive 6. Therefore the next term of the quotient become positive 6. 6 into 2 equal 12. 6 into 0 becomes 0. Okay. Positive 6 into negative 3 is negative 18. Therefore it is negative 18. 12 minus 12, 0. Negative 9 minus 0 become negative 9. Then negative 1 minus negative 18. Negative into negative become positive. Therefore, negative 1 plus 18 equal plus 17. Here only 2 terms, but in the divisor there are 3 terms. The further we can't move. Therefore, this is the last step, negative 9 plus 17. Now we have to insert the variable part. I told you here degree of the dividend is 4 and the degree of the divisor is 2. Therefore, degree of the quotient must be 4 minus 2, that is 2. Therefore, we can write the answer. Quotient. x square minus 3x plus 6. Then remainder become negative 9x plus 70. Negative 9x plus 70. Try to solve the same question as a normal method, taking both coefficients and variables. I hope you will be able to solve questions from this section, that is how to complete the operations with the polynomials and to calculate the zero of the polynomial. Again, to calculate the unknown values if the zero of the polynomial is given. Please try to solve the questions given as assignment. Thank you.